So I want to know a little bit more information about your creative process, like how you go about taking taking an idea. I mean, maybe you get ideas in the shower all the time. I don't know, but it'd be great to know how you'll go about. Like, if a company came to you and said, "All right, here's our product, or here's what we're looking to launch very soon." How would you break it down? What would your process tend to be? What would you start out with to begin with? Like, just found out about the product or the business or the launch, and they're saying, okay, we'd love to engage with you guys. What tends to happen in the industry anyway, like from the start? Is it like a pitch to begin with, or do you pitch lots of ideas, or and do you have to come up with all those ideas for one pitch? How does it tend to work with you guys?
Okay, so there are a lot of different ways that it can work. One of the most prevalent, however unhelpful, ways is that a brand will put out an RFP to their the agencies who are on their books to be able to pitch for new work.
Okay. So they might have like 5 or 6 companies that they think,
yeah,
these are our
if this is a
people.
Huge company, like a Fortune 500 or a blue chip company or whatever, they will typically have, for their really big stuff, like their big advertising, external brand things, they will have agencies on their roster. Those agencies will be invited to pitch. Now, it's assumed, I think, usually, that these agencies will come with ideas that have been born out of many billable hours worth of ideation with the team.
Yep.
This is what we call working on spec. And there is a movement of creative agencies who are saying no to spec. And there's a great video on YouTube, Say No to Spec. And it was made by this agency who later on did that Alpha Zero Kilo, Jason covered it on his
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but okay.
podcast.
One for the,
they made like a
shortlist.
fake. They made like a fake persona for their agency, like real douchebaggy, like Mad Men wannabe kind of. We're just gonna drink like whiskey and come up with ideas for you. And actually, they got really great press out of that. But before all that, they made a video campaign called "Say No to Spec," and the idea was, if you walked into a cafe and went, "I want like a full English breakfast," or in America, like pancakes. But I want you to make it and I want to taste it, and then I'll let you know if I want to buy it, if I think it's good enough or not.
Yeah.
If you walked into a cafe and said that, they would tell you to like, get on your bike. And so this is the way that a lot of brand clients engage new agencies for work. They'll say, put loads of time and effort into coming up with ideas, and if we like your ideas, then we'll buy them. The idea is the most valuable part. So if you had an idea that was good enough, you could film it with your iPhone and it would still land really well because the idea is strong.
Yeah. So they kind of like look past the actual like production or how it's coming. So looking for just
people
the core
seem
idea.
to think that's the most valuable part. And a lot of trained monkeys can make some pretty stuff, but they can't. It's the idea. It's the script. It's the story. It's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the most valuable thing. Look at the Blair Witch Project. It was filmed on a camera that they bought from Circuit City and then returned a few days. They like had to shoot the whole movie in 30 days so they could return the camera in time. And it's one of the it's a massively grossing movie because the idea was strong.
Yeah.
It wasn't filmed amazingly well.
One of the guys, Andy, who's involved with that project, is actually a client now as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I used to live near one of the executive producers of that in
really?
Florida.
Very
So
cool.
look at that.
So all the connections come together.
5 degrees of separation. So that's one of the ways that brands often engage new agencies. Now, it's, I understand the thinking. It's a big leap to give your budget to someone who has, sight unseen, not yet given you an idea of what it is you're getting. So what we do is we would go to a pitch like that with a capabilities deck. We would go, here's a presentation of what we're capable of. This is work we've done in the past. here are some directions that we think that you might go in. We might show them examples of other ads and go, we love this one, we love that one, we like this element of this. We think, the cinematography of this would work really well for your brand. But we wouldn't necessarily come with the actual ideas. Because that's the most valuable bit. We come with what is needed to instill confidence and faith in us in order to then start engaging.
It's almost like some foundations to build some ideas off that. Sort of thing, to say, here's what we kind of like the look of, here's what we think would work really well for you, and we'll go away and think of other ideas based on what you like.
Yeah, and then once you engage us as the agency on this project, step one is pre-production, and that is when we, start coming up with this, this idea. Yeah. You can lead with case studies and say, there was a time where a brand came to us and then they engaged us and then we came up with these ideas and, so on and so forth.
So even if they requested that you came in with ideas, you'd still say, okay, I'm going to come with some kind of like pre-ideas of like...
I call them, I'll go, yeah, sure, we'll come with ideas. But the idea is, we'll make you an ad that looks like this one. Here, watch these commercials for Coca-Cola or whatever. This is the idea. No, but it's like the actual concept can't really happen until you start getting intimate with the project. Quite often the brief will have enough information that you need to, come up with what you need to. That said, I'm not such a massive snob that if Coke came to me and said, oh, we'll let you pitch, that I wouldn't be up, 24 hours a day working with the team, probably actually come up with some really massive stuff, because those are opportunities you can't just give up. But sometimes you get an RFP and you read it and it looks like it was a template thing and you kind of think, I think they think this is how they're supposed to do it. But if you just get in touch with that person who's actually the decision maker on that project or the person you'd be pitching to and go, hey, what are you really expecting? What can we really do to help facilitate this? Sometimes you find out that you're the only one pitching and you're like, oh, this is cool. Let's just come. Can we just come and talk,
Right, I see.
The RFP looks like it's been sent out to tons of people, but it's really only just you and like one other agency or whatever. So that's where the ability to just, be relational comes in. And so you find out what's really needed.